What's going on, Packers fans? Aaron Negler here with your post-game chat from the Packers' embarrassing loss to the Detroit Lions to the tune of 24-14. And ladies and gentlemen, it was not that close. That was a thorough domination by the Detroit Lions. And I know there's a lot going on there when you use the word domination. No doubt about it, the Packers had their chances early in this game. But as has been the case often throughout the 2024 season, continuously shot themselves in the foot. Some bad miscues, boneheaded plays. None more boneheaded than Jordan Love's pick six. Yet another terrible decision from a young quarterback who is making it all too easy to call for the backup, which is what a lot of people were doing throughout the second half of this game. Understandably so, given how this team has performed with Malik Willis under center. And there's another key under center. This game saw Jordan Love operating out of the pistol almost exclusively early on. Who did get under center at times, but more often than not was resigned to the shotgun, where Elton Jenkins was lucky to be able to get the ball back to him in the second half in the driving rain. Just too many curious decisions, starting with Jordan Love playing. Matt LaFleur literally admitted in his post-game presser that he was limited throughout this game due to the injuries. At some point, don't you have to sit this young man down, let him get right physically, and go with the young quarterback who's shown he can keep the ship afloat, even if it is not the style of play maybe you want? I don't understand the decision to keep trotting Jordan Love out there when it is very clear that he's not right. And I know there's going to be a lot of talk about his play, some of the deficiencies, some of the dumb decisions he has made, and he has made some dumb decisions. There's zero doubt about that. But can we give the guy a fighting chance and let him get healthy? I know we got the bye week coming up, and maybe on the backside of that, he looks better, a little bit more right, able to step into his throws, able to get outside the pocket without hurting himself. But right now, that is not the case, and it was not the case again tonight. And it certainly did not help the Packers in any way, shape, or form. But that said, the other thing that didn't help the Packers tonight was the drops. So many drops from the Packers. 5, maybe 6 if you're being harsh as a grader. But that's an impossible way to live for a team that, yes, had to continuously put the ball in the air because they were down so many points. But you are a professional football team. You practiced in the rain this week. You have got to catch the football, especially when the team on the other end lives and works in a dome and didn't seem to have any issues holding on to the football. Just up and down, this team, the Green Bay Packers, way too undisciplined, way too error prone, way too many ways to hurt themselves before they even start dealing with the opponent. And this is a very, very good opponent. Obviously, the Lions, as advertised, extremely clean game, as Matt said in his post-game presser, just looked thoroughly a cut above the Green Bay Packers throughout the contest. You saw some nice stuff intermittently from Green Bay. Josh Jacobs running, Aaron Mosby getting in on a half sack. Can't believe they gave the kid a half sack, but you saw a few bright spots. Daniel Whelan had a couple nice punts yet again. But overall, just an embarrassing performance from the Green Bay Packers, who, again, come out in a game in inclement weather against a dome team, and they look like the team that doesn't know how to handle it. That's unacceptable. You play in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It doesn't get better from here. It's going to get colder. It's going to get worse. It's going to get nastier. And for the team to come out and look as uninspired and just completely overmatched by a team that does play indoors is thoroughly depressing as a Packers fan. Look, I get it's the modern NFL. You're designed to throw it around the yard, but you have to be able to adjust to games like this, which the Lions very much did. Montgomery to the tune of 73 yards, 4.3 per carry, helping Goff on an 18-22 day for 145 yards and a touchdown. That's efficiency. Did you see some of the plays that Johnson had drawn up, getting guys flowing one way and then throwing on the backside to a uncovered Amon-Ra St. Brown? Or, speaking of St. Brown, that first touchdown, a beautiful play design. Get him matched up on Nixon just like they wanted. Gorgeous throw from the quarterback who plays in a dome. Been talking about how he's a dome merchant and all that. He looked totally comfortable in the elements, albeit outside of maybe a play or two throughout the game. Thoroughly outcoached, completely embarrassed. Good time for the bye. Packers got to get healthy. No question about it. So do the Lions. Can't use health as an excuse. The Lions had a very, very beat up football team coming into Lambeau today. It's just absolutely thoroughly depressing and disappointing to watch a performance in what was touted as the game of the week. This is your chance to make a statement. We talked about it being a measuring stick game throughout this week. Well, you came up way short. Now, all of that said, I've got my grousing out of the way. It is just one game. It is a very long season. They sit here now at 6-3. Certainly a much better position than they were last year at this time when they went on a run and made a deep playoff appearance. And I'm not saying that's automatically going to happen. It certainly isn't. They got to do the work, but there is a lot of season left. And what has happened today or even prior in this season at all doesn't matter going forward. You have to learn from these things, build on them, develop from them, but it is just one game. And I know I'm going to see a lot of this guy's terrible, fire that guy, etc. It is not a big picture thing. It is one game. With that said, good to see everybody mixing it up in the comments already. Appreciate each and every one of you sticking around on a dreary night for the Green Bay Packers. Starting with JJS Breaks. Thanks for the super chat, man. There's been 2.5 exciting games this year. I like how you have divvied that up. You've quantified it. There have been 2.5 exciting games this year. Well, nice of you to break that down for us. And those just happen to be when Love was out. They can't be good. Love ain't it. That can't be good. Love ain't it through 9 games. Matt LaFleur ain't it through 9 games. This wide receiver core ain't it through 9 games. What about the defense? They ain't it through 9 games too? I understand the frustration, man. I disagree that there have only been 2.5 exciting games this year. If you only like offense, which apparently you do, you could maybe make that case. But, the defense plays too. They've had exciting moments and games as well. I hear what you're saying. I get the frustrations. But to say Love ain't it through 9 games is a bit silly. Those aren't the only games he's played. We certainly saw what he did last year. Waiting for him to continue to build on some of the excitement, to use your word. Certainly sick and tired of the boneheaded decisions that cost this game. There's no doubt. And if anybody was on Watch Party, you heard me say it because someone talked about end of the half, go down, score, etc. And legit, before the Packers got the ball, I talked about, well, you got to be careful. You got to take calculated risks because this is when the fulcrum of the game can swing the other way because you have a turnover, give them easy field position, they score, they get the ball again, come out of the half. They didn't even need to get the ball there at the beginning of at the end of the half because Jordan Love made a boneheaded decision. And the whole thing swung on that decision. Can't cost your team games. That decision cost this team the game. I mean, you can talk about everything else, but the entire game swung on that play. And that's what's hard. That's what's difficult to see a young guy who's got all the talent in the world, can make all these exciting plays, but you got to be way more careful with the football. And until that gets hammered in and hammered home, I fear we're going to have to continue to see this lesson learned throughout this season. And again, I think it would behoove the Packers and probably help the Packers if they sat them down and let them get right health-wise. I don't think that's helping. Joe, thanks for the super chat, man. Well, that sucked. Bye week comes at a good time. Get Love, Jacobs, Williams, and Alexander healthy, then beat the Bears. I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it. Ed, thanks for the super chat. Hopefully we'll clean up the mistakes once the regular season starts. Ed, everybody knows regular season don't start in Green Bay until second half of the season. That was the bad half of the season, and we're 6-3. So that's pretty good. Mimsy, thank you. Which team plays indoors? Fair question. And look, at this point, it's not a one-off, right? More often than not, if there is a weather game, inclement, however, rain, snow, wind, cold, name an element, Matt LaFleur's teams certainly seem to come up short. I mean, at this point, it's just kind of a trend. I don't know what else to say. I love Matt as a coach, but he certainly doesn't seem to press the right buttons when weather is an issue. We saw that again today. Porkmaster, what's up, man? I will ease up on Josh Myers. I wasn't going to bring it up. Interesting how we wasted like 3 plays with Elton Jenkins at center with those snaps today, though. You're not wrong there, Porkmaster. Jesse, thanks for the super chat, man. Beat ourselves, plain and simple. All right. I mean, yes, the Packers certainly contributed to their downfall today, but Detroit's a really good team, and they played very well. They played efficiently, and they took advantage of our mistakes. That's the whole name of the game, especially in an NFL where, so many one-possession games, so many things come down to one mistake. Well, today that mistake was Jordan Love throwing a pick six. Everything swung off of that. And you can talk about, staying in it and get that touchdown late in the end. But man, the Lions completely controlled this game throughout the entire proceedings. Shadid, thanks, man. Just gotta play better. See you all next time. That's perfectly stated, sir. I mean, there's no notes. Perfect chat. Raha, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Oddly enough, I don't come out of that game feeling like they're tons better than us. We tried comically hard to lose that game. I hear what you're saying, and I agree. There certainly was an element, especially in the first quarter, into the second quarter, before the pick six, let's say, where you could see, yeah, we were stubbing our toe, shooting ourselves in the foot. A lot of foot injuries here. But yeah, there was a push and a pull to the game where they were being a lot more efficient, but we were in it, and you certainly could make the case that the game was there to be won and to be had, right? My issue is that this is not a first-time occurrence this season. And I'm not talking about Matt LaFleur's tenure. I think for the most part, his teams have been pretty damn disciplined, right? They have not been penalty merchants. They haven't shot themselves in the foot in any kind of repeating way. But man, that has been the story of 2024 so far. I don't know what they got to do to get out of it. You talk about 1 of 4 in the red zone. Again, contributing factors being penalties, self-inflicted penalties that drive you back. Again, that has happened all season. And I don't know what the answer is. I'm sure LaFleur and his staff are kicking themselves as well, trying to figure it out, because there's only so much you can do as a coach. At some point, it is incumbent upon the players to execute. You can't continuously live at 1st and 15 or 1st and 20, especially when you're trying to punch it in for a touchdown. I mean, also, just catch the ball. That's another component there. But I hear you. I think it's hard for me to make a case that the Lions aren't better or weren't much better. They were, to my eyes, a much better team than the Packers today, at least. Jocelyn, thanks for the super chat. Only thing sloppier than the weather was the Packers. Lions didn't drop passes, botch snaps, have pre-snap penalties. I trust Matt LaFleur, but it's 9 weeks of this shit. Has to be fixed over the bye and heal. Jocelyn, I think that's perfectly stated. The healing part, obviously, being paramount. But again, at some point, you are who you are. And if it hasn't changed through 9 weeks, I don't hold out much hope that it's going to change materially in the second half of the season. I'm open to being pleasantly surprised. But, at some point, your stripes are there as whatever animal you want to attribute that to, and you're not changing them. Spots, stripes, whatever. Dustin, thanks for the super chat, man. People need to relax. This young team will make adjustments, get healthy, and will attack the tough schedule to come and finish 14-3. Go, Pack, go. Dustin, to quote the great philosopher C-3PO, I wish I had your confidence. I like where your head's at, though. I like it. Mimsy, thanks for the super chat. Matt LaFleur has not beat the red zone allegations. It's weird. Throughout his tenure, they've been good. They've been suspect. They've been good. Now they're back to suspect. It's tough, man. It's very tough. Although, again, catch the football. Soder, what's going on, man? Thanks for the super chat. On a positive note, the Lions pass rush is garbage. It's true. It's true. The Packers held up well. Without Hutchinson, they don't have much of a presence up front. There's no doubt about that. Although I will say their very first blitz was well-timed and caused Jordan to have that off throw to Brooks where If he just puts it in front of Brooks, he probably walks in for a touchdown. But because of the pressure, Love seemed to rush the throw. It's behind him. It's a drop, and they're kicking a field goal. Ed, thanks for the super chat, man. I remember what Washington did to Robert Griffin's career by playing him hurt. Woo, baby, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. I don't think we're at that level, but I'm with you in the sense that I keep kind of talking about it tonight. You let the man get right. It's very clear. And up until today, I don't think I've recalled Matt LaFleur admitting that he's gutting it out, playing hurt, etc. Like we've all seen it, but that's the first time Matt has said straight up, like, I really was impressed by his grit and determination, and he's gutting it out. He's clearly not right. Well, if he's clearly not right, can we sit him down until he's right? Because it doesn't look like it's doing him any favors. And I understand his desire to be out there, his desire as the face of the franchise, as the guy at quarterback, the face of the team, the dude that everyone looks to and rallies around. I 100% appreciate Jordan Love's desire to play and wanting to play through injury. I applaud it. I love it. But at some point, the team has to step in and say, okay, let's get him right. I mean, isn't that what the Packers always talk about? Remember Bakhtiari's quote? We don't want you for 4 more games. We want you for 4 more years. At some point, don't you have to do this not only for him this season, but long term? Don't let him develop bad habits because he's kind of overcompensating for injuries. Let him get right and operate the offense the way you can when he's right. Because right now it seems like everything is about trying to mitigate what you're asking him to do, whether he's in the pistol or he can't go under center because he can't do certain things that you would like him to. The boot action has completely disappeared. Most of the play action has completely disappeared. I have to assume it's because they don't want him pushing out from under center. Until he can we sit him down? For the first time in forever, we know we have a backup that allows you to operate. It's the point of the backup quarterback. I don't know. It's frustrating. Very frustrating. Sean, thanks for the super chat, man. A lot of pushback by bloggers at the fans' reaction to that loss. Feel the fans' contempt for the same mistakes repeatedly occurring can be justified. Well, Sean, I'm sure you're not lumping me in with the other bloggers. I'm kidding. Pushback? I don't know what you mean. I can't speak for anyone else other than myself. When I say it's one game, it doesn't portend that the season is over. I think that's justified. However, as far as fans' reaction to the loss and feeling upset about the mistakes repeatedly occurring, to use your phrase, have at it, man. Go to town. I totally agree. I'm with you. I literally just talked about the fact that I don't see much changing on the second half of the season because nothing's changed through 9 weeks. I'm with you, man. I'm one of you. I am not a blogger, sir. I am one of you, Sean Gallagher. I just love blanket statements. Ralph, thanks for the super chat. Will be another era with a good QB and a soft team. Oh, damn. Ralph went soft team on us. I mean, it certainly didn't look like a hard team today. I'll give you that. Adam, thanks for the super chat. We know what this team is capable of. So how does Matt LaFleur and his staff go about ridding this team of mistakes? Adam, if you have any ideas, I suggest you write to 1265 Lombardi, care of Matt LaFleur. I'm sure they're trying each and every week new methods, new ways of trying to get through to these guys, but at some point, it is on the players. Mental focus, especially the pre-snap shit. Like the holding calls, things like that. Maybe you get beat, whatever. That happens. That's physical. The other guys get paid too. Fine. That's life in the NFL. But the pre-snap stuff is absolutely destroying them. Gotta button that up. Joshua, thanks for the super chat, man. The most frustrating part of that specific interception is that there was nothing to be gained, even if Jacobs caught it. And to not hear LaFleur or Love mention that after the game is even more so. Yeah, the LaFleur, he's trying to make a play line off of that was, oof, baby. And LaFleur clearly wants to keep things in a certain perspective and or light when talking about Jordan Love, talking about how he has utmost faith in him and he's trying to make a play. And I love how he plays, all of that. And I get it. I think it would take a whole lot for Matt to ever go in on Jordan publicly. But I don't think to your point, I don't think it's out of bounds to say he's got to learn. I know we talked about lessons or whatever, but at some point, this is twice now he has thrown absurdly dumb interceptions. That is unacceptable. Unfortunately, the only people who can hold him to account are in that building. Nobody outside the building is going to be able to do it. You know, I'm with you on that. Soder, thank you for the super chat. Held the Lions to 17. That was good enough. Sigh. Yeah, I mean, as frustrating as it can be at times watching that game and the defense give up some things, I mean, the Lions have been blowing people up with the scores, with the touchdowns and big plays and whatever. I will say one bit of solace doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, and it certainly doesn't make anything less sucky tonight as we're trying to get over that loss. But watching the Lions try and dial up one of their fucking trick plays while salting the game away and Enigbari absolutely housing that dude into the ground. Not in here, Ben Johnson. Not at Lambeau. Anything else we'll let you do. We'll let you walk up and down, but not that. I'll take that as my bit of solace for the day. Gurm. What a handle. Thanks for the super chat. Frustrating performance, but a healthy Packers team making fewer mistakes is very capable of splitting with this Lions team. I agree. Obviously, one big part of that is the not making mistakes, which, again, haven't seen any sign that that's going to abate anytime soon. But the health should hopefully be better next time around. William James, thanks for the super chat. This team has felt soft for years. Is it culture or coaching? Seems to be a pattern. Cannot lose bad weather games to dome teams. William, I understand that last part up to a point, but at some point, that's a really good fucking football team, no matter where they play. Doesn't matter if they're playing on Mars or in a kitchen or on a beach. Like, they're just a really good fucking football team. Very well coached, very disciplined, very efficient with the ball. They don't make many mistakes, and that at some point it doesn't matter where you play. It's just hard for me to get past the fact that they're just really good. J-Pack, thanks for the super sticker. Appreciate you. Abdul, what's going on, man? Hey, Aaron, are you alarmed by anything you saw, or can you not take anything away due to the combo of weather/wind/injuries? Abdul, I'm very interested to go back and watch this one because emotionally, right now, sitting just after the game, my inclination is to say, yep, burn the tape, bad day at the office, move on. The problem is there are way too many things that have been recurring regardless of, like you're saying, the weather, the injuries, the wind. I mean, those are elements that the other team had to play in. Those are injuries the other team is dealing with as well. And again, this is a repeated thing. So alarmed, maybe not alarmed, somewhat disappointed, I would say, at the fact that this seems to be something you can set your watch by. If you're going into a game with some bad weather, you can kind of count on Matt LaFleur and the Packers not rising to that challenge. I mean, I hate it. I love Matt as a coach, but it keeps happening. So what else do you say? Menace, thanks for the super chat, man. I miss the days when if it was below 49, rain, snow, any inclement weather at Lambeau, it was a metaphorical death sentence for the opposing team. Mother Nature used to be our 12th man. Thanks, Mike Vick. Yep, it all shattered that day in the playoffs. I miss those days too. Remember they used to have that graphic right before that fateful game? They had like some insane winning streak when the temperature was below freezing with Favre at quarterback. I miss those days as well, but those days are long gone. And look, like some people were talking about a soft team. It's not like Mike Holmgren's teams were hard. They were good. They were disciplined. They made you pay for mistakes. And they played sound, clean, great football. No one would ever mistake Holmgren's teams with, like, I don't know, Buddy Ryan's Eagles or the 84, 85 Bears or anything like that, hard ass, whatever. Those 2000 Ravens. Those weren't those teams in Green Bay that won all those games. They were good, disciplined football teams. They ran the West Coast offense, but that didn't stop them from executing. That's what I miss. knowing that regardless of what's getting thrown at you weather-wise, you were still going to execute at an incredibly high level. That's what I miss. Ralph, what's up, man? That D-line is cooked. I still agree with my police work. I think your police work's a little unsettled, sir. That's the game that you say the D-line is cooked after they held Detroit to 17 points on offense? I don't know, man. I don't know. Robert, thanks to the super chat. Very frustrating how much we're able to move the ball without scoring. As they say, if it's not one thing, it's another. Sigh. See you in 2 weeks. Go Pack, go. Yeah, a lot of what felt like empty yardage in that game, right? Yardage that, while fun to cheer play by play, ultimately leading to 0 points. A lot of that. A lot of empty yards. Mike Witt, what's up, buddy? I know he's the long-term answer, but I still think Willis should have started. Love just didn't look right today. What happened to Wicks this year? Wicks having that classic sophomore slump. Tough, man, but we saw James Jones go through it. We saw Devontae Adams go through it. We've seen lots of guys go through it. Wicks is going through it. It sucks. The Porkmaster. Is the foot shooting gun low on ammo yet? Yeah, I hope they emptied the chamber today and it's all smooth sailing after the bye. Dustin, what's up, man? Third in the league in drops. Can we fix that? Go Pack, go. More jugs machines? More time on them? More time in practice on it? I mean, you got to imagine they're doing everything they can as a coaching staff. Guys got to play better. Guys got to focus. Guys got to catch the fucking ball when it's thrown to them. And it is a focus thing. I mean, sometimes, yes, bad throws, whatever, inclement weather, it's going to happen, etc. But it's focus. It's all focus. Tucker Kraft's drop today, focus. Wicks in the end zone, focus. Just need to focus. Braden, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Gold package is 0-2 now. Too late to give the green package the Bears game. I almost hurled when I heard Jared Goff's name being chanted at Lambeau. Braden, you know it's got absolutely nothing to do with that. It is about the team on the field. Got nothing to do with the fans in the stands. Just stop. Mimsy, thanks again, man. Malik isn't Brett Hundley. Give him a shot. Maybe they do coming out of the bye, though. I doubt it. With Love given another week to heal up. And if he is healed and right, I don't mind it. But if he's clearly still struggling and, quote, fighting through something, I think they should. Jeremy, thanks for the super chat, man. Detroit was better today. Give credit to them. We have a lot of football in front of us. In the words of the great Nags, a lot of ball game left. Very much agree with that sentiment, Jeremy. Precious Dolt, how are you? Great handle. Did Favre struggle this bad early on? Oh, yeah. 100%. I had to talk to somebody about that in the chat today on the watch party. Man, Brett made some of the dumbest throws you'll ever see on a football field. And he made some of the most incredible throws as well and plays. But yes, he absolutely did. Alex, thanks for the super chat, man. Please give me a good reason why we need the ball at kickoff. Winning or losing, you want the ball at the half. I can't be the only one. See, 1,000,000,000% damned if you do, damned if you don't coaching decision here, because Alex, you love it when they defer. There's a whole section of the fan base who hates it when they defer. I don't mind it either way. I get both viewpoints, and I totally understand it against the Lions team where you want to play with a lead. Now, the Packers got it barely. They got a 3-point lead, so does it even count? But I don't mind trying to get on the front foot and play from ahead. I absolutely understand that thinking, that mentality. I am with you more often than not, though. I, myself, Coach Nagler, I would always defer. But that's just me. Thank God I'm not the coach because you guys would hate me even more. Badger Trio, thanks for the super chat. We look like a dome team today. I sat in the rain for that trash more so. I was in the middle of Lions fans. Oh, Badger Trio, I am so sorry. I hope they were at least kind. I mean, some are. But yeah, the Packers definitely look like a dome team, no doubt. Mike Witt, what's going on, man? Our home field advantage is the most overrated in the league. No team has been scared of Lambeau since Michael Vick destroyed us that Saturday night. Yes, Mike, we talked about that earlier. And you're not wrong. Especially in weather games, it's all of that kind of mystique, what have you. That's all gone. That's all by the wayside. Michael, thanks, man. Annoying loss. Very annoying. But we were 3-6 at this point last season, feeling good about the big picture. It's a healthy attitude, Michael. And you're right. It's a very annoying loss. But there is a lot of season left. Levi, thanks for the super chat, man. Matt LaFleur needs to grow some balls. Bench Jordan Love. He's not healthy. Start Malik Willis. Levi, I'm sure that felt good to get out of your system. I appreciate you, man. Sean, thanks again. I'm affronted you think I would associate you and Cheesehead TV with bloggers, the BBC of Packers news. That's very kind of you, Sean. But I am just a blogger. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. Wicks going full Devontae in year 2 has been fun. I'm ready for the Hall of Fame turn. That's the thing. You've seen the talent, all the upside. It's all there. It just has to be way more consistent. But it is frustrating in the moment. No question about it. Porkmaster, what's up, man? We're not soft. We have shown we can run it down and defenses can't stop us. Dumb mental errors are the albatross around our necks. It's interesting you say that because I agree in the sense that they can run it on anybody, right? They've shown that. No question about it. But I do think most of that label stems from the defensive side of the ball and the inability to get a stop when you desperately need it, right? Or just to stop the run in general. But I hear what you're saying. I get it. I agree. Tamor, thanks for the super chat. Do you think the coaching staff sits Jordan down during the bye week and has those tough conversations about the turnovers? Ooh, baby. Can only assume Tom Clements does that each and every week, but I do think a greater conversation is probably needed because nothing's changed throughout this season. And I do wonder how much hard coaching is going on behind the scenes, but that's something we can never know, right? And also, every guy is different. Every guy responds to different types of coaching differently. You don't really know what Jordan's going to respond to or how he responds to certain approaches, etc. Not saying he's above reproach, not saying he shouldn't be sat down and given a stern kind of talking to about the importance of ball, etc. Just saying, like, there's no way for us to know A, how they go about it, and B, how he receives that coaching. Hopefully, they find a happy medium and he stops getting the ball just out in the most ridiculous fashion on some of these plays where he's under pressure. Obviously, no play is there. Just live to fight another day, man. Jerome, thanks for the super chat. A lot of ball game left. Random Packer and fellow Youper, O.J. Larson, 1925. Classic O.J. Larson. Got to admit, that's the first for me. Dustin, thanks to the super chat, man. Nags, here's $5 for a creamy and cold beverage. You know what? That's a really good idea. I think I'm going to take a sip of my Carry the G. Get yourself a nice cold can, Carry the G.
Well, we carry the G wherever we may be, so creamy and cold, and from the land of the green and gold.
Now available throughout Wisconsin. Good stuff. All right, buddy. I'm going to have to get going. I cannot thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers after every game, whether it's a win, whether it's a loss. I know it feels awful right now. That was a terrible game. Embarrassing, to say the least. But it is just one game. There is a whole lot of season left. Bye week ahead of us. Got to wrap it up, but a lot of good football coming. I promise you, this is a team that will look much better than it did today down the stretch. Thanks a lot, everybody. Really appreciate it. Everybody who could hang out. And I will be back tomorrow for Packers Daily. Packer Transplants will return on Wednesday. Even with the bye week, we'll be ready for you. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack Go.